World Trigger is one of the coolest series I've ever read, and there are so many concepts I find very interesting. One of the biggest concepts I'm a fan of are side effects. We've seen many cool side effects from this series that range from simple enhanced hearing to even crazy abilities like seeing into the future. In this video, I'll be breaking down what side effects are, how they are ranked, talk about the current side effect users in the story, and finally, I'll talk about how side effects will continue to affect the story. If you end up enjoying this video, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe to support the content, and also support me on my Patreon for more videos like this one. The link is in the description down below. So, what exactly makes side effects so hype? Let's talk about it. What are side effects? Side effect is an ability that certain individuals with high Tron levels can use. Everyone may have Tryon, but very few people are capable of manifesting a side effect. Side effects are an extension of human ability, and they can range from simple sensory enhancement to extraordinary perception. Side effects are very rare and usually manifest due to the effect of Tryon on the brain or the sensory organs. There are usually two kinds of ways people get side effects. The first way is being born with the side effect, and the second way is acquiring a side effect later through some external factor. Despite this information, we still do not know the specific conditions to manifest a side effect. How are side effects ranked? Not all side effects are created equal. Just having a side effect is considered very rare, but even among side effect users, there are certain side effects that are even rarer than others. Border created their own ranking system to rank side effects based on their rarity. The ranking system from Border ranges from S rank to C rank. C rank side effects are side effects that are characterized as enhanced senses. B rank side effects are side effects that are characterized as special constitution. A rank side effects are side effects that are characterized as superhuman ability. S rank side effects are side effects that are characterized as extrasensory perception. These rankings are strictly for how rare the ability is, not for how strong or useful the ability can be. It is very possible for a C or B rank ability to be far more useful and stronger in battle than an A or S rank ability. These categories can be a bit confusing, so let's break it down some more and give some examples. C rank side effects are pretty much an ability that gives someone a better version of something humans can already do very naturally. These usually include the five main senses of vision, hearing, smell, taste, and touch, but it can also apply to other things like having quicker digestion or recovering quicker when you eat something. An example of C-ring side effect based on the mouth will be something like enhanced vocals to reach farther distances or enhanced pitch to reach notes that humans normally cannot reach. B-ring side effects are a bit harder to understand, but they are abilities that give your body unique powers or special constitution. Just like humans don't have advanced hearing like a C rank side effect user has, they still have the concept of hearing, it's just a lesser version of the C tier side effect. B tier side effects work the same way, whereas instead of its concept being a super common human function like hearing, it will be something more unique like trying to accurately predict someone's country of origin. As soon as the ability becomes theoretically impossible for a human to do, it will evolve into an A or S rank ability. An example of a B ring side effect based on the mouth would be something like being able to tell the exact emotions people are feeling when you're talking to them based on the color identifier. Under the right circumstances, humans can tell certain emotions someone they're talking to is feeling, like if they're worried or scared or happy. This concept is still within the range of human ability. However, an ability making the emotion turn into a color that gives you the answer for free makes your body unique or special and gives the ability the status of a B ring side effect. A ring side effects are pretty much an ability that gives you superhuman powers, but they must come from some physical part of the human body or from the human senses. An ability that is conceptually impossible for humans to do no matter what, but it still comes from a physical part of the human body, will be classified as an A-ring side effect. An example of an A-ring side effect based on the mouth will be something like using your mouth to breathe fire. This is obviously not something a human can do no matter how hard they try, but since the mouth is still being used, it is a superhuman ability and an A-tier side effect. S-ring side effects are side effects that give you superhuman abilities, but they don't come from any of the human senses or from any part of the physical body. These powers are also known as ESP or extrasensory powers. An example of an S-rank ability based on the mouth would be something like speaking to someone without using your mouth at all, otherwise known as telepathy. Being able to do a function like talking without using any physical part of your body would make it an S tier side effect. These rarity rankings make sense since you can predict that having one of your common senses or function being boosted will be the least rare, then having your body use special forms of complicated human ability would be rarer, then having your senses transcend human ability would be even rarer, and finally having an ability that transcends human senses would be as rare as you can get. What are the side effects in World Trigger? Throughout the story of World Trigger, we have had a total of 9 characters who we know have side effects. First, let's start with Yuma. Yuma's side effect is seeing through lies. It isn't officially stated, but this should be a B ring side effect. Under the right circumstances, the concept of knowing if someone is lying is very possible for a human being, but having your body react to lies as a lie detector makes Yuma's body special and unique, which should qualify the ability as a B tier side effect. Yuma didn't have this side effect at birth, he received it after getting the black trigger from his father, who also had this side effect. This side effect is not the best in battle, but it is extremely good at filtering out bad information from enemies, which can help formulate effective strategies against them. Next, we will look at Jin. Jin's side effect is Foresight. This is an S-ring side effect since it uses extrasensory powers to see into the future. There are a lot of nuances when it comes to how effective his foresight can be, but the main gist of it is that his future vision works the best when the event is very probable or when he looks at a lot of people involved in that event. Seeing the future makes strategizing extremely efficient since you have key information and key events to formulate your plan around. This side effect is also helpful in battle, but keeping track of the present while also thinking about the many possible futures in the heat of battle is very difficult and is the big reason behind Jin's many losses to Tachikawa. Overall, this is probably the best side effect in the series so far, and is one of the biggest reasons for Border's current success as an organization. Next is Chika. Chika is the only person so far to have 2 side effects. Her first side effect is sensing enemies. It isn't officially stated, but this should be a B ring side effect. Sensing another presence apart from your own is possible for humans under the right circumstances, but specifically sensing hostile enemies makes Chika's body unique and special, which qualifies the ability as a B ring side effect. This ability allows her to detect the location and the number of enemies present. She can also differentiate between humanoid neighbors and Tryon soldiers. This ability is very useful in a war against neighbors, since she can nullify most surprise attacks from neighbors and let her team know when and where to expect hostile enemies. Chika's other side effect is erasing presence. Even though it isn't officially stated, this should also be a B rank ability. Humans are capable of lowering their presence in situations where they're trying not to be caught by somebody, either by slowing down their breathing or being extremely quiet. The concept of lowering your presence is definitely possible for human beings. Chika's body takes it to the next level by completely erasing her presence, which makes her unique and special, and thus grants her ability a B rank status. In War Trigger, we see that Chika can conceal her presence to avoid detection by Tryon soldiers. She has to completely empty her mind in order to use it, and as soon as her concentration is broken, the effect gets dispelled. This ability is extremely poor in combat since she can't fight at all if her mind is completely empty, and this is probably why Chika uses a bagworm instead of her side effect since she can now both hide her presence and still have combat potential. In situations where she can't fight and only has to run away and hide, this side effect could definitely be the deciding factor for her survival. Next is Yotaro. Yotaro's side effect is talking to animals. This is an A-ring side effect since communication is definitely an ability humans possess, but communicating with animals is completely impossible. This makes the side effect a superhuman ability and thus makes it an A-ring side effect. The intelligence of the animal is a huge factor in how effective Yotaro's communication can be, but he can still get simple responses like yes, no, or okay out of animals he talks to. This ability is completely useless in combat, but there may be a situation where an animal knows something the border team doesn't, and in that case, Yotaro's side effect will come in handy. Next is Kikuchihara. He has the side effect of enhanced hearing. This is a C-ring side effect because he has an enhanced version of a common human function like hearing. His hearing was said to be 5 or 6 times better than the average human, but it was nowhere near superhuman levels. This ability is very simple and was looked down upon by his peers, but combined with border technology, it became one of the best side effects in the series. Enhanced hearing lets Kikuchihara see through most visual illusions like invisibility or fake clones. By synchronizing his hearing with his team, they can receive far more sensory information on their opponents than normal, since he can hear the materials, weight, property, as well as pinpoint exactly the source of the sound. With this much extra information being added by Kikuchihara, it's no wonder why Team Cosmo is able to ascend to A rank and secure one of the highest positions in Border. Next is Murakami. He has the side effect of enhanced sleep learning. This should be a serious side effect because sleep learning is actually something all humans naturally do. A good night's sleep is a great way everyone processes new information they learned that day. But Murakami's body allows him to absorb 100% of what he has experienced after only a short nap, which makes it a far enhanced version of what normal humans can do, and thus making it a C rank ability. Murakami's ability is very good at increasing one's fighting potential. Being able to absorb 100% of battle information and adding it to your fighting repertoire is almost a cheat code for leveling up. Outside of combat, Murakami's side effect also made him an above average soccer player. So this is an ability that can improve your skills overall as a person and not just a battle agent. Next is Kaguera. He has the side effect of emotional perception, which is a B rank ability. The concept behind this side effect is perceiving emotions directed at you from someone else. Under the right circumstances, humans can sometimes tell what certain emotions are being directed towards them through things like body language, social awareness, and facial expressions. Kagura's side effect takes it to the next level and allows him to tell exactly what emotions are being directed towards him through pricking his skin with certain sensations. This makes his body unique and special and then makes it a B rank ability. For Kagura's side effect, different feelings correspond to different sensations. The more negative the emotion, the more unpleasant the sensation. This side effect is extremely useful in battle since he can perceive hostile intentions. This means that many sniping and sneak attacks do not work on him at all. His side effect is so accurate with his perception that he doesn't even need to rely on any other sense, and he can still anticipate where every single bullet of a Tron cube will land. With a side effect this helpful, it's easy to see why Kagura is considered one of the strongest attackers in Border. Next is Ammo. Ammo has a side effect, but we are unsure about its name. Ammo's side effect allows him to see people's combat ability in different colors. The concept of guessing someone's combat ability is possible for humans to do. Under the right circumstances, people can sometimes tell how strong someone might be based on their physical attributes. Even though it isn't officially stated, this side effect should be a B rank side effect. Being able to see someone's exact combat ability in something as convenient as colors definitely makes Ammo's body unique and special, which will grant his ability the status of B rank. This side effect is pretty useful in battle scenarios. Since the side effect detects outlines in color, he's able to see hidden enemies, avoid visual illusions, and know the battle prowess of the enemies his team will have to fight. This is great for creating effective strategies and avoiding unnecessary damage. The final character is Yomi. Yomi's side effect is perfect parallel processing. This side effect allows Yomi to multitask at maximum efficiency. Even though it isn't officially stated, this should be a C rank side effect. Everyone is normally capable of multitasking to some degree, but this side effect enhances that ability to reach maximum efficiency and thus making it a C tier side effect. This side effect is pretty useful in battle, especially if you're in a situation where you have to do multiple things at the same time. Despite the high amount of enemies, this side effect still allowed Yomi to coordinate his thinking so that he can solve concurrent problems. He was able to control two Indras while also talking to his two partners at the same time. With a side effect that helpful, it was easy to see why Yomi was a key factor on why the neighbors were so strong in that invasion. These side effects have been a great addition to the story. Tron is already such a great system, and the idea of side effects adds an extra layer that produces so many interesting dynamics within the story. We have talked about the 9 side effect users and a total of 10 side effects. Out of the 10 side effects, we have 1 S tier side effect, 1 A tier side effect, 5 B tier side effects, and 3 C tier side effects. As we continue on in the story, it will be difficult to get more side effect reveals from border agents. Side effects were supposed to be rare in the first place, but we would have already seen many more combat based side effects from the B rank wars if B rank agents had them. The biggest chance we have to get more side effect reveals in the future will mainly come from the many A rank agents we have yet to see. Or if we get introduced to some non combat side effects that will be impossible to know about through the B rank wars arc. Side effects from the neighbors, however, could be plentiful as we head towards the away mission. I'm sure Ashihara has nothing but greatness in store for us, and I'm very excited to see how creative Ashihara can get when it comes to the new powers of our future antagonists. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe to support the channel. And don't forget to support me on Patreon as well. The link is in the description down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch y'all later.